Hi Body Buddies, I'm Kristy Jo, and today's video is about how to handle a time of overeating or binging. First thing I'd like you to understand is that you're not alone in these types of struggles. A lot of people do feel that way and they're very, very embarrassed. If you have been on my blog, you will know that that is something I dealt with for a very long time in my life, and so I get it. And while we never completely recover or heal from these types of tendencies or desires, especially when our mind is constantly thinking about food, we can instead put some controls around those triggers that would entice us to do those things, to go a little bit crazy at a buffet, to do those secret eatings, those types of things where you feel guilty, but for some reason this motion, we just can't stop it. And you know, because you've been there and you've been like, I know I shouldn't, but for some weird reason you just can't stop that. And so that's the first thing I'd like you to understand, is that you're normal, you're going to be okay. We do want to try and improve these behaviors, but I want to teach you about what the best way to handle it when you do have an oopsie. And that's all it is. It's not a failure. All it is an oopsie. Okay? And then you get back up on the wagon. That's what the Powerful Lifestyle is for. Keep going. It's a lifestyle. It's not a stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. It's you have your structure. You do what you got to do. There's no try this diet and try that diet and try that diet. And honestly, when people come to me with that kind of behavior of yo-yo dieting and this and this and this and this, their insulin resistance is so high. Their metabolism is shot, and we have to take even that much longer to retrain their metabolism. Do we fix it? In most cases, yes, but it takes a lot more time. So please stop with the black or white diet behaviors and get on Power Foods Lifestyle. All right, enough of that. Okay, so you know the feeling when you wake up in the morning or whatever it is, maybe you binged a breakfast, who knows? And the first thing you think is, I'm just not going to eat. Well, that's not what we want to do. The first thing is, if it was a pretty bad binge, if you're like, upwards of 3,000 calories or so, then you're going to want to do this drink. It's a pretty well-known lemon cayenne pepper tea. So all you do is warm up 8 ounces of water, get it pretty warm, and then you can do 1/8 of a teaspoon. That might be a little bit much. You might want to do it 1/16 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. It's going to increase your core temperature. It's a natural fat burner. It's an element of many of the fat burners on the market, which if you've been a part of Body Buddies, you know I do not endorse fat burning supplements. In fact, any client that comes to me who is taking them, I take them off them. Nutrition has more power than these things, and we have to get the baseline in accordance with science and getting your body functioning in a regular manner before we throw in anything that throws it off like a fat burner. So anyway, but in this case, the cayenne pepper is going to be a good thing. Next, you'll want to take just a medium-sized lemon, just squeeze that juice in. It'd be better to use a lemon rather than the concoction of just normal lemon juice. I don't know off the top of my head. I have not studied it thoroughly enough to really say if there is that much of a difference, but I would err on the side of caution and use a real lemon. And then you don't have to, but you can add about a tablespoon of raw maple syrup. This is going to make it a little bit sweeter, but I have not found it to be a very critical part of it. So anyway, you'll just drink this. You can drink it maybe every 2 hours or so. And I would just drink it until your stomach growls. When your stomach growls, it's time to eat a real Power Foods meal. Do not skimp on your portions, eat normal portions. And that's going to help you really get back into your baseline eating. Now, something else you'll want to do is to keep protein and vegetables in you at the regular timing of the Power Foods Lifestyle, which is every 2.5 to 3.5 hours. You may not do a full protein serving, so if you're just pretty average build and weight and everything and pretty active, 4 ounces of protein, let's just say chicken breast for instance. That's a typical serving. You may do 2 to 3 ounces, just a little bit smaller. You may do some egg whites. A protein powder shake would be just fine. Just keep some protein in your stomach at the regular 2.5, 3.5 hour interval with some vegetables. Some water-based vegetables will be really good, like cucumber, bell pepper, celery. I would choose those over your cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, just because they're going to sit a little bit better in your stomach. There is also a product that Unicity makes. It's called Life Fiber, and it's a fiber supplement. It's one of my favorite go-tos in those times of indigestion or feeling a little bit plugged up. So that's something that is helpful. You can purchase that at www.bodybuddies.myunicity.com. But that's not a must, but it is I find it to be a better go-to than Metamucil or one of those other fiber supplements that you just go get at the grocery store. Now, so this is going to help you get back to baseline, but remember, the trick is to keep the protein and vegetables in your stomach. We're going to keep the carbohydrates and fats out, just because you've got plenty of glycogen buildup. But most of us, when we binge, it's not on protein. It's on carbs, fats, and sugar. So you've got plenty of stuff going on. You don't need those energy nutrients until your stomach rumbles, okay? When it's like, okay? That's when you need to get your Balanced Power Foods meal in there. Drink a lot of water, lots and lots and lots of water. You don't need tons of other things. Those are the basics of what's going to help you really recover. As far as the feeling of, I messed up all my progress, that may be a yes, that may be a no. It depends on how intensely you were training, what you were doing, everything like that. So it's very variable. I can't make any cookie cutter recommendations on that. But in many cases, if you were doing a very, very strict eating for 2 to 3 weeks, then that actually could be a big blessing because your body needs that refeed. As you would know, the Power Foods Lifestyle, I teach about indulgence meals. And this is a refeed for your body so it doesn't drop its metabolism to adjust to this caloric deficit, because the Power Foods Lifestyle is, the portion sizes I recommend are for fat loss. And once you reach that desired weight, then you increase your portion sizes to maintain that body. So we should not always be on that restricted calorie intake. And the goal is to get to our desired weight and then maintain, not do like this thing. But obviously it's going to take a lot of time, and everyone is different, and I don't know what your situation is, and that may be something that you want to look into my custom coaching program so that you can just drive it home, get to that goal, stop with the fluff around it, and then learn how to maintain it. You can learn more about that on my website at www.body-buddies.com. The last thing I'd just like to talk about is the fact that this does not mean you're a failure. This does not mean that you are horrible at life, that you're never going to reach your goals, and we tend to do that all or nothing thinking, and it's so boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And when you struggle with these types of things, then that's really, it just encompasses your mind. You fixate on it constantly, and if you are experiencing this, you know that it's horrible when all you can think about is food and what do I get to eat next, and you may find yourself pinning desserts and snacks and things and just drooling over these things, pinning as far as on Pinterest. And this is a lot of mental discipline things to work through, and I don't say this lightly because it took me a long time, and I constantly am still working on it. But as far as all of those people that I've been able and privileged to help overcome their own disordered eating habits, I think the biggest thing is that we learn the principle of self-forgiveness, and that you look yourself in the eye and you say, I forgive you. And it's okay, because instead we sit there and we just whip ourselves mentally. We get so angry at ourselves. We treat ourselves like crap sometimes, huh? That's not right. Would we treat anyone else like that? Hopefully not. So I'd like you to really think about that. How can you just take that whip out of your hand and forgive yourself? Think if you were coaching someone else, what would you say to them? And I know it's really easy to say, well, I would say this, but it's me, so. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of paying attention to it, being aware of what goes on in your own mind, and being in control enough to dictate what stays and what goes. Whenever anything negative comes in, you have to kick it out and say thank you, but no thank you. Because you can't control the incoming voices, but you can control what you allow to stay. So please focus on the positive. Focus on the fact that you're getting back on that wagon, and you're going to focus on the things you do right. You're going to focus on the things you do well. And yes, maybe an oopsie occurred, and maybe those oopsies occur more than you'd like them to, but you're working on it. Failure is only failure when you give up and stop trying, so you're not a failure. Get that in your mind. Look at your progress and be happy. Because you can do this. You can live the Power Foods lifestyle, and you can reach your goals, but you've got to stop getting in your own way. You've got to start controlling these voices that come in right here. So I'd love to help you. Please let me know if there's any type of coaching that you're interested in. You can reach me at Kristy Jo at bodybuddies.com. And until next time, remember, one meal, one workout, one day at a time.